This is day 6 of Road to a Million. I don't have my sunglasses on me today, so I guess I'm going to be looking at the camera. But yeah, no, so today closed about 75K worth of deals at my 9 to 5 job. And then I listened to a Dan Coe podcast or I guess information about high level valuable skills to help you get to a million, because apparently you need to have what he talked about, at least, was speaking, marketing, writing, and sales. And I would say I have 3 out of the 4. My writing's still a little flimsy as of right now. My speaking, I would say, is good when I know what I'm talking about. My writing is the one that's struggling. My marketing can use some improvement as well. My sales, I'd say, is very, very good as of right now. And then the other thing that I also learned about today, or did, was I ended up going to the gym, did a little bit of back, worked out from there, and then came home, sat in the sauna first, and from there, I'm maybe going to go grab a drink later tonight, possibly. I do think that I did come up with a niche idea that I want to start looking into, so I'm going to start developing more into that, because I have an idea. Like, I was asking myself questions the other day, is like, what am I good at? And I came up with a couple of answers to that. It's like, I'm really good at approaching and talking to strangers. I'm trying to also think about, like, when are times that people have been envious of me? Because if I can figure out times where somebody has, say, been envious of what I'm doing, I feel like that would be a skill that others could also be inspired by if they're envious of it, because then hopefully they'll want to change what they're doing. So I might start to change that. I've been thinking about that a little bit as well. But I do have a niche, and like I said, on day 5 as well, just going to be primarily focusing on just getting that first customer to give me $1,000, just give me a chance, just to show that I do have the skills that are able to raise the funds, I guess I should say. So that should be cool. And then essentially probably going to start buying courses as well. The guy Alex Hormozy that I've been listening to as well, who seems to be doing very well for himself, he talks a lot about how you can pay 2 ways. You can either pay with your time or you can pay with your money. And before I was always paying with my time because I didn't have the money. And now I have the money, so it's like I might as well start doing that. And I was trying to think about this as well too, is like, I've spent all this money on like books, so why don't I also spend some money on, say, courses from somebody else? Because books really are just consolidation of knowledge as well. It's just they're cheaper than courses are. So I think that's always been the problem that I've held back, because the first course that I did, like, it was valuable. It's just I don't think I dedicated myself to it fully, so I didn't get to see the whole fruits of the labor of it, which is a bummer on my part. But obviously, if I wouldn't have bought that first course, I wouldn't be doing or knowing the things that I know nowadays, because as I was saying in, like, I think day 2 or 3, some people don't even know about what the value equation is, which just kind of boggled my mind. So I guess we'll start doing that, still dedicating like an hour or so in the morning to meditation, and then meditating in the sauna, learning as much as I possibly can, still taking a break here and there. I'm doing my best not to watch YouTube videos, at least not meaningless ones, more educational ones that I can sit down and think and then reflect afterwards, like I did today. So like now, pretty much whenever I listen to a video, it's like, okay, I sit, I think, and I reflect on that, because one of the guys that I was listening to as well talked about how we don't ever really give ourselves time to reflect anymore. So I'm going to be trying to do a little bit more of that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for day 6. And I guess still haven't really made any money yet, which is sad to say when I think about that. But there's no buts. It's showing me that a lot of what I have been doing is just talk, so I can't really complain. It's more a lesson of like, okay, I actually need to do some work. I actually need to make calls, or I need to come up with an offer, create a proposal, figure out the niche, figure out what value you can provide to the people, which I never really did that beforehand. It was all just talk. So that's been the nice little shift that I've had with doing these little video essay diaries, daily documentations of getting to a million. And I'm just going to continually realize that a lot of the work that I have been doing has been meaningless, and it hasn't actually been driving me forward, because the work that I need to be doing is slightly uncomfortable and difficult, and it's been tough for me. It's just I have to constantly remind myself that I do put myself in into uncomfortable situations, and those uncomfortable situations teach me that I am capable of doing more than I thought I was. And I always have to dig deep and realize that me digging deep on, like, sitting in the sauna for 30 minutes or riding my bike 30 miles a day or being stranded in the middle of the desert in Grand Junction or whatever it may be, and realizing that like I have to dig deep, and I've been able to make it through each and every single one of those like experiences physically, it will translate to the business realm as well. At least that's my hope. Because whenever my back's up against the wall, like I don't give up. I don't cower on my knees. I don't break down. Like, yeah, I have broken down a couple of times, but that's just part of being human, essentially. And it's never a matter of me breaking down because it's like I can't do it. It's me breaking down because maybe I felt a certain way, I felt alone or whatever it may be, which has never really been the case for whenever I do my exercise. Like whenever I'm riding my bike or I'm lifting weights or something like that, like I've never felt like I can't do it. I always make it back. Like I always do it. I always put one foot in front of the other. Whenever I'm walking, biking, lifting weights, I just do one, or reading books. Like I just turn the page and I turn the page and I turn the page. And I'm starting to realize that I need to just do that with my business as well. And instead of just talking about it, actually go and implement on what I'm saying and what I know, and just share my information, because clearly I do have valuable experiences. I've just been trying to wrap my head around this one thing, and this one thing has been, I still haven't wrapped my head around it entirely. It's essentially, it's like, I share what I share. Wouldn't everybody just start doing what I do? Then I have to realize that at my company that I work at right now, I was able to climb the corporate ladder to basically the top tier within less than a year, essentially. Whereas nobody has reached out to me. Nobody's asked me questions. Nobody's wondered what I do. Like maybe one or two people, but they don't implement it. I haven't seen anybody climb in the ways that I climb. And I'm starting to, I guess, put the pieces together that not everybody wants it. And that's okay. And I can't change the fact that nobody wants it. All I can really do is give what I can, and hopefully the right people will listen and be inspired by it. It's just, I don't know. It's been tough, because I've been trying to wrap my head around trying to figure out what this is and like why certain people will use it, especially when all the information's out there. It's like I can increase my prices, I can create categories of one, and then it's like, well, why doesn't everybody do this? And I'm starting to, I think, realize that not everybody knows what I know, because I've even talked with a couple of other people over the past couple of days, and I've asked them, do you guys know about the DIA story? Do you know like how that, like, do you know about the DIA conspiracy? And the people that I talk about, they're like, no, I don't know that. So I'm starting to realize, and it's the same thing with like the value equation as well, when salespeople don't even know about that at the company that I work for right now. It's just like, it's always seemed to me that it's common knowledge. It seems like everybody knows these things. And I'm starting to realize that not everybody knows these things. Not everybody puts in the effort or the work or the research, the time, the reflection as much as I do. And I'm just going to share what I have to share with the right audience, and hopefully the right people will come along. And when they do, my main goal is just to inspire somebody to do something that they didn't think they were capable of doing in the first place. And if you can do that, then I'd say you're in the right spot. I'd say you're in the right ballpark. It's just a matter of, are you willing to do what's required? And clearly, I haven't done what's required necessarily, because I haven't made an extra like money for myself. Like, yes, I did close deals at the company that I work for right now. It's just I haven't acquired my own client. I haven't acquired somebody outside of my 9-to-5 job that's paying me on a monthly basis. And that's what I'm working on, and that's why I'm going to be buying courses. And that's why I'm going to be implementing the skills from those courses and filling out the worksheets, filling out the guides, actually thinking and actually implementing the work, because I've been able to see firsthand, like, if you just work this much harder, it doesn't have to be much. Like, all I did, like, with the company that I work for right now, is I just made a couple more calls than everybody else. I just asked tougher questions than probably other people will. I asked the questions that most people wouldn't want to ask, and I think there's been some benefit to that. So I guess that's the biggest takeaway, is not everybody's going to do the work. Not everybody wants to do the work. Most people want to sit on the sidelines and watch other people succeed, which is sad. And I know I've talked about it a lot. Like, I know I've talked about the things I'm going to do and how I have these big goals and ambitions and drive. And, like, I know that I'm going to make it happen. I do. I know that for a fact. I just had to acquire the necessary skills, expertise, knowledge to be able to do it. And that's why each time I release a video or each video that flops or fails or doesn't get the views that I want to, it doesn't make me feel good. So that's why I'm starting to shift. It's like maybe the YouTube thing can come later, and let's just work on primarily just getting somebody in the door that finds what I have to say valuable, somebody that's willing to pay me, so that then I at least have money coming in, and eventually I can then start to outsource to YouTube and have multiple channels that are automated that are also bringing in income, so I can have a whole wall of like play buttons as well. And then along with like 2 Column Club awards and affiliate awards and all these other awards that people get for having money, and then creating my own award to hopefully give other people as well. So we've got some plans in the work, and it's going to take some time. It's just those courses that I'm talking about, the education, the self-reflection, it's paying off.